I'm Michelle Lightworker. After over 20 years in the holistic and spiritual development industry, I'm sniffing out who's promoting high vibes all over the globe. We want to show you where you can find high vibes anytime, anywhere, every day. Hi everyone, it's Michelle Lightworker here. I'm here with Mirka from the Marara The Journey, and she's a beautiful being, and you've been working with high vibrational frequencies for a while now. You mentioned 30 years you've been involved in the healing industry. My goodness.
Yes, I was curious about the human mind, how it works, because myself, I had an eating disorder as a teenager and then was highly...
I know all about those.
So I was very much at that end of the road where I said, that can't be life. What is life about? So that started me off actually. I experienced so many different modalities in my 30 years of practice, and I always looked for, the very genuine ones. I want to share, really my gratitude for Ashati, for the Ashati Institute, which is in Sydney. I want to really also express my gratitude to Jeremy Bordell, who channeled all these energies and made it for us teachers, or for us teachers also available, so we can teach and spread the energy, but also for everyone else, who taps into it and just, is on that path. And I must say, I'm very, very impressed, and I love them. Everything is energy. We are energy beings. We live on the third dimension, and that's why everything is matter and material. So when we look into that, then we see also that like emotions, thoughts, belief systems, everything is energy, and these energies are influencing us in our energy body, which is connected to our physical. So we feel, we think, and out of that we react and create our life. So when these energies needs to be constantly processed. And if I, as a little child, don't understand the energies which coming in, like different thoughts, because I'm too young to understand what it is about, or an emotion which is not really belongs to me, that emotion is just around there, and I, because I live in the family, so I take it on. So all that is getting caught up in my energy system. And then if I was not able to process that as a little child, then I'm carrying that with me. But in the end, if I can embrace it with curiosity and an openness and accept it, what is, then I can transform that in me, and it can be a part, and it can find its peace in my heart. The shift with the Mayan calendar stopped, and we were all thinking, the world goes down, and in the end it was a shift in frequency, in the vibrations of the earth, and so we need to adapt to it. And for that, I think there are new energies out there, and one of them is, where I'm working with, is the Ashati energies. And these Ashati energies came in for this reason, and it's an energy healing system. Ashati system is built up of different energies, like I mentioned. So there is Ashati, which is working with your mind consciousness. Then there is Alchemia, which is working with your body consciousness. And then you have the advanced levels, which is Ascension, and then another Alchemia in the higher levels. For me, the Ashati energies are here to empower you. So I'm an accredited teacher who teaches about all, the energy bodies, but also attunes you into that energy. So you can call it in whenever you need to, in which you don't need to come to me. And I'm not worried about that, because the time is here that you need to take responsibility. In the attunement itself, it's there we are not dealing really with the difficult stuff. It's more, that you then in your own pace, and when you do the self-healing, because you start after the attunement, you start a 21-day self-healing process. And in this 21 days, you invite the energies to heal and clear you. And in this process, there is, for sure, there is going to come stuff up in you which is uncomfortable. But the energies are taking it also for you. The people, love it. I have now one woman, she is now on her 3rd level already, and she just loves it. She says in the beginning when you start, because you're dealing with the lower consciousness, and that's all our conditions. But when you're getting over that, and this is like 21 days, you might go through tough time. But then you're rising to your upper higher chakras, where you connect with your soul and, with past life. And there it's already become much more freer, and you start to put the dots and the lines together, and in that regard, and it's just the connection starts already building up. When I look, where acceptance is in the chart, in the frequency chart, it's the highest frequency. So if we would learn to accept first all of that, what we are, what I am, with all what I am, also with my difficult times and with my sides which I don't like, then I'm actually floating constantly in that high vibration, and the world wouldn't have maybe any wars anymore.
And Marara is an energy that you connected to? Just
Marara
to explain.
Marara is the name of the African dog rose. It's a flower. So through her, she opened me up again for this world of energy where I before was already in, but it was just another consciousness which came in here, and it was interesting. She just popped me open in a way of raising my consciousness to another level. And then with her in that regard, I met the Ashati energies.
And the Ashati energies were something that you've now been trained in, and you're also helping to guide people through that training to access the higher frequencies, which are really different from pre-2012 energies, where we had that Mayan calendar doomsday thing that never happened, but on a consciousness level shifted us all into we're somewhere else now.
Yes.
We have these forces that are available to us now in a way that we weren't ready for perhaps before, and now there's a lot of us that are ready for it. Yeah.
I think exactly like you say, everything comes to a certain time, in the time which, it meant to come. So I think these energies are just here now for this time. in harmony with the whole frequency of the earth and where we are at as humankind.
It's an exciting time,
isn't it?
Because like a lot of us, and I've heard a bit about your story, and it's true. We spend a lot of time in the struggle, and then a lot of us are really shifting out of that and actually going, well, hey, shortcuts, please. We don't need to struggle for. I mean, we probably struggled more in our resolving our eating disorders and things like that than now. If people came in and said, well, actually, we have high vibration frequencies that can assist us, like you're offering, to help to support that now in a way that we just, it wasn't the in thing. People weren't actually really delivering this to us back then. It was more therapy.
I think, when I look back into my eating disorder, when I was 16, I mean, there was even not a name for it. And today, everyone is talking about it.
I remember going to the library and looking up anorexia. I was like, what is it? And why have I got this? I knew I had something.
Yeah.
But I wanted someone to describe what it was. I couldn't even find it in a library book yet, which is, that's how desperate I was to understand.
Exactly. That's for me too. And then, after 10 years having this sickness and then finding actually out, I can't get out of it by myself. And then I surrender into, to go to a psychotherapist and start, and then in that process of the 3-year psychotherapy, I found out, that's actually not my problem, it's my father's problem. So, and the sickness fell just off me.
That's phenomenal, isn't it?
Yeah.
How it can just
but through pure understanding.
And that's where we come to what you're doing.
Exactly.
Is working with now these higher vibrational frequencies where they're actually tapping us into the consciousness of what is really happening. Yeah, and that's so important. I mean, we obviously resonate there with how we want to approach, I guess, new age healing. It's more about understanding our heads. Yeah.
It is more about understanding yourself. How am I wired? What do I think? And how do these thoughts or these belief systems, like a big one is I'm not good enough for a lot of women. It's like how does that affect me?
And men too. Absolutely. How it all affects you.
In my life, what do I create out of it? And when I see that in front of me and I'm aware about it, then I can actually say, okay, I'm not going to do that anymore. I'm going to do this. I can make decisions because I'm clear.
And I like that it offers hope to seemingly where a lot of people find themselves today, where a lot of people feel like it's very, very heavy energy. But, when you kind of look at our paths and where we are now, it offers hope to other people that, hey, we've been there. And we know, I can't say we, but I know, and I hope you do too, I could have done it a lot easier if I'd known the things that I know now. That's part of what motivates me to do this, to be honest.
Exactly. I mean, that is why I'm here today, because after I really healed that part in me, I started to do talks in high schools, for the girls who are just in that same do prevention through the schools and talk about my story and have little groups coming together and just talking openly, because I didn't speak openly for 7 years. I was carrying it with me, and in these 7 years I didn't have one day with a thought without food.
I can relate to that. It was just,
and it's crazy.
It was nuts, wasn't it?
Yeah,
I know.
It was drawing me down. I couldn't concentrate on school. It was just influencing my whole being in everything what I was doing. So. Do I want that? No.
And shortcuts, yes.
Definitely.
So I think it's wonderful what you're doing. I really thank you, and I'm so grateful that you joined us on this show, because it just shows people how much is available to them, and at whatever level they're at, and it feels really a beautiful offering to the world. So thank you.
I thank you, Michelle, to just invite me to your program, and I find it great what you're doing here.
Thank you.